It's no secret that in a competitive landscape of today's job market, building a strong employer brand is, it's essential for attracting and retaining top talent. One of the most, I would say, effective ways to do this is through crafting compelling employer brand content and sharing it online and on social media through organic and paid posts. So in this episode of Building a Modern Employer Brand podcast, we'll explore the art of content creation in employer branding, including how to generate ideas, how to create authentic content, and effectively share it on social media. If you are new to this podcast, my name is Susanna Rantanen, and I'm a business coach specializing in people branding and talent marketing. But I also work as a strategic employer branding consultant at our family business, Helsinki, Finland-based employer branding agency, Eminem. And this podcast is for those who want to learn how to build employer brands that attract and retain the talents the business needs for success. So we've talked about this multiple times on this podcast, but let's remind ourselves again. Your employer brand is based on the perceptions and experiences that your current, former, and potential employees have about your organization as an employer and as a place to grow and develop their career. Now, the magnetic employer brand encompasses your company's culture, values, but also your mission, your purpose, your customer promise, and the way that you help your employees create a better life for them. And not just today or during their employment with you, but for the years to come. A true employer brand touches their hearts and impacts them on an emotional level. And without this emotional connection, it's nearly impossible to truly convince and convert your target audience to position your organization as their number one or even two or three choice of employment. This emotional connection is what changes a mere distinctive employer image to an actual employer brand. And if you want your employer brand content to truly resonate and matter, you have to remember that employer branding is never about your organizational needs, but always about your current and future employees' needs and aspirations. And this must come through in the employer branding content. Why you want to learn how to create emotionally appealing employer brand content is that it will actually stop people scrolling past your content and can help your organization to stand out in the crowded job market. And what comes to internal employer branding, content like this helps foster a sense of belonging among your current employees. And I know from experience that creating that output, that actual piece of content, is oftentimes the least daunting task in the process of employer brand content creation. So we really need to talk about why it's so important to have that clear employer brand content strategy or a blueprint. Because as said, what is actually the most difficult part of the process is not really just creating content, but having a content idea. And not just a random idea, but a content idea that supports your desired employer brand perceptions and helps solidify the employer brand that has expected impact on your talent attraction and retention, because that's what you want, don't you? And anyone who has ever worked in content creation knows this, and so do you. So how do we get out of that rabbit hole of not having any ideas to start with? That's a valid question. And here's a solution for you. So you will need a simple employer brand content strategy and a blueprint or a playbook that hosts your key content themes, content marketing goals, and other specifics on visuals and tone of voice and what type of content is created for each of the expected employer brand content goals, because they're not the same. If you need proper help with your employer brand content strategy, you can contact me. Our Helsinki, Finland-based employer branding agency offers online services for this based on that magnetic employer branding method that I've developed. So you can just simply contact me at susanna@emin.fi to book a free consultative online meeting with me to discuss if we're a right partner for you. Now, it's imperative that you have a content strategy / blueprint for your employer brand content marketing, because you want to keep your content ideas within the box of expected employer brand perceptions and never lose the important common theme that sets you apart. And it doesn't have to be anything more than a few slides or of shared clarity for those who create employer brand content. Because the most vital thing is that you have decided what are your desired employer brand perceptions, what are the key content themes for building and strengthening those desired perceptions, and an agreement on how your content should look like and sound like, and how you measure success from your content. Now, let's move on to the process of how to generate ideas for employer brand content. I have really big on simplifying things and building systems that I call routines. Maybe more other people too, because my brain works best towards with creativity when I have like this some cogwheels inside my brain as like an operating system. If you're like me, then creating a simple routine for ideating, creating, and publishing your employer brand content, I mean, this will make the work so much more effective. And when you have that blueprint available for you, you can hit any generative AI such as ChatGPT and ask that AI to generate you, for example, 10 social media post ideas on your chosen employer brand content theme. There you go. To make sure that those ideas generated match to your target audience, you need to include a description of your target audience and then press enter. And I'm going to give you an example of a prompt. So, I wrote a prompt that was create me 10 employer brand content ideas targeted at HR marketing professionals working in employer branding who struggle generating employer brand content ideas. And this is what ChatGPT generated for me. These are the 10 ideas that it generated for me and you. The idea number one was, and I'm going to have to look here. So idea number one was employee spotlight stories. And showcasing individual employees through written profiles, interviews, or videos to highlight their unique experiences, roles, and contributions to the company. That's the first idea that ChatGPT created for us. Number two, behind-the-scenes tours. Offer a virtual or in-person tour of your office or production facility to give potential candidates a sneak peek into your workplace culture and, surroundings. Great idea. Number three, day in the life videos. Create video content that follows a typical workday of different employees, providing insights into their daily tasks, challenges, and interactions with other people in your organization. Number four, employee testimonials. Share written or video testimonials from current employees discussing why they love working for your company and what makes it special. Idea number five, company values exploration. Write articles or create graphics that delve into your company's core values, explaining how they are lived out in everyday work and decision making. Number six, culture challenges and solutions. Discuss real challenges that your company has faced in maintaining a positive culture and how you've addressed them, demonstrating your commitment to improvement. Content idea number seven, diversity and inclusion initiatives. Showcase your diversity and inclusion efforts, featuring stories of diverse employees and highlighting specific programs or initiatives. And idea number eight, recruitment process insights. Explain your hiring process step by step, helping potential candidates understand what to expect and how we assess fit. Help them to succeed. That's what it's all about. Number nine, interactive quizzes and surveys. Develop quizzes and surveys that help potential candidates assess their compatibility with your company culture or identify their ideal roles. And tip number 10, industry insights and thought leadership. Share thought-provoking articles, white papers, or webinars that are related to HR marketing, employer branding, and talent acquisition to position your team as experts in the field. Remember to tailor these ideas to your company's unique culture and your values and leverage various content formats such as written and video and graphics so that you can engage a wider audience of your target audience that are interested in your work. And if you want more, then you simply hit the regenerate button for more. So I really want you to explore generative artificial intelligence like ChatGPT for producing you these content ideas. But you do need that blueprint. You do need that plan where you have your key themes decided. Next, what you want to do then is to actually document those ideas in one place. I recommend opening a Trello board where you store each of your content idea as a separate card for later. Our clients who use Microsoft Teams, they are using Teams Planner for this. It's quite similar. And when we create content, we like to split the overall employer brand content creation process into separate steps of that. First, you generate and document those ideas. Then you select a few ideas that you start kind of enhancing. We call this raw ideas. So enhance those forward in the more specific ideas with the description of the type of content this will be. Is it going to be a text-only carousel post, multiple images, short-form videos such as Reels or TikTok, stories, or a long-form video for YouTube? Or is it going to be a blog post or a podcast episode? Because depending your choice of content type obviously then depends on how you're going to create it. And if this is an employee interview, you want to plan the questions ready for the interview. Or if this is a post from existing content sources, a blog post or a career story or an interview or survey or other data source, then you want to write the captions and add the relevant hashtags on the card. Then you want to create images for that. And after that, that content is ready for publication on your chosen time. So it's kind of like a systematic manner how we like to work and how we recommend you to work because it's much more efficient. You're not creating just one piece of content from start to end, but actually taking like a whole bunch of ideas and moving forward into one step, second step, and so on. And when you work with employer brand content creation, it's smart to allocate, for example, once a week, an hour or 2 hours for each step of the process so that you can actually do more at once. And I do have to mention that when you start exploring AI for content ideation, you are probably also compelled to test if it also does the content creation. And that's okay, as long as you remember that don't just publish those drafts like that. Finalize those AI drafts according to your blueprint, to match your tone of voice, your culture, and to consist the information that is actually true to your organization. The artificially produced content, it has a distinctive tone, and I can immediately recognize other people who are using AI for content creation. So it's super helpful on the ideation level, but you want to make it look authentic to your organization and to your employer brand. So you want to enhance it and sort of rewrite it before you publish it. I also want to share with you 4 well-working types of employer brand content that you can start ideating. What you need to do is kind of create the angle under your chosen employer brand theme for each of the ideas. So the first one is employee stories, because your employees are your best brand ambassadors. You want to share their stories, their achievements, and their experiences with your organization. This is a no-brainer. Testimonials and stories like this, they resonate with your intended target audience much better than when you talk from the employer angle, employer perspective with the voice of the employer. Another really great idea are behind the scenes content. So what you want to do, and this is one of the artificially generated ideas as well, but this is a type of content. And when I'm talking about the difference between actually ideas and type of content is that consider an idea is like one piece of post or one content. But when I'm talking about the types of content, think about these as a content series. So you have more than one of this type of content. So when I'm talking about creating behind the scenes content or those employee stories, it's actually a series that go under the same kind of a category. And then you create more of that stuff. It's a really powerful way of creating content because people tend to like to refer or go see if they feel that this one content was really good, they tend to like to see do you have other kind of episode in this series if you like. So behind the scenes, you want to take your audience behind the scenes of your workplace, because we don't often visit our clients anymore because everyone's working online and remote. But when we do, External people tend to see only the reception area and a negotiation or the meeting room. And you're seeing just like the areas that are meant for show, but you're not seeing the reality, the back rooms where people are working, where you can actually sense the culture, like the vibe in the air, the atmosphere. So you want to take your audience there. You want to take them to that real world where your employees are, where they work. Show them what's a day in the life of an employee looks like. Show them what a part of their work looks like, what goes into it. Highlight unique aspects of your office culture and environment, what it looks like working in your office so that people can visualize if they see themselves in there. How people collaborate, how they speak, how they behave at the office. Imagine this is like getting your audience watching you through like the Big Brother lens. What will they see? Company values is another type. I want you to think about creating a series of posts that are showcasing your company values in action. Sharing examples of what those values mean to your employees, how your people are living those values. When you see a value on the website, customer service attitude, what does that mean? Will I see it? Will I feel it, around the organization? Are people actually living? What about those people that are not working with your external customers? Do they have internal customers, or are they taking that customer service attitude seriously? Educational content. Offer valuable insights and advice that are related to your industry or the profession of the target audience, because this can position your company as a thought leader in your field. But remember that this is kind of an area where it has to be information that is of value and has some kind of a newsworthiness to it. If it's information that is very generalistic level and people have heard about it and have read about it and have watched like hundreds of YouTube videos or TikToks or Instagram reels about it, there's no newsworthy value anymore. So you want to dig deeper and make sure that the educational content that you create, it's actually something that people haven't really received from anyone else yet. Okay, I want to share with you 5 tips to guarantee authentic employer brand content. So first of all, you have to stay true to your employer brand. Ensure that your content aligns with your organization's values and culture, because authenticity is just key to building trust. That's what you aim for. And use real people. Whenever possible, feature real employees in your content rather than stock images, because this humanizes your brand and adds credibility. And I have to say that selfies actually work much better than photos that are taken by a real photographer. Tell a story. Storytelling. That's a powerful way to connect with your audiences emotionally. Craft narratives that resonate with your target demographic. Showcase diversity. Highlight the diversity of your workplace in your content. And this does not only reflect inclusivity, but also attracts a broader range of candidates. And that's what you want. And then engage your employees. Encourage your employees to share their own content and experiences on their personal social media. Because employee-generated content, that's highly authentic and relatable. And don't forget to tag your people. Alrighty. Now, I think that now you are ready to start publishing your content on social media. So let's talk about a few things, how you can ace this one. So first of all, choosing the right platforms, because not all social media platforms are equal. So you want to tailor your content to the platforms that you're using, and you want to use platforms that your target audience frequents. So LinkedIn, for example, is ideal for professional networking and job-related content, but Instagram and TikTok are much better for evoking emotions and getting that commitment to your employee brand. And don't forget to use all the available features on these chosen platforms to maximize your impact and also add versatility to your content. Things like the polls on LinkedIn, they work really well. And use the LinkedIn blog, the pulse also. And Instagram stories are exceptionally good when you want to send your audience to your content or website outside Instagram, because you can actually use those working links on your Instagram stories. Okay, another important tip for sharing effectively and efficiently is consistency. I think you've heard me mention this about 10 billion times. But consistency is key. Maintain a consistent posting schedule because this keeps your brand in the minds of your audience and demonstrates your commitment to engagement. You want to show up. You want to make sure that you keep consistently reminding your audience about you by showing up. Also, use visuals. You want to incorporate eye-catching visuals, images or videos to make your content more shareable and engaging. But you need to stick to your blueprint. What were the visuals that you were supposed to look like and also what you can't look like? Encourage engagement. Encourage likes and shares and comments on your post. You have to actually ask people. People are lazy. I'm lazy. You're lazy. We're all lazy because it's just literally in our DNA not to consume our energy for an unimportant reason. So we like not to do stuff unless we're asked to really clearly to do stuff. So if you want people to comment, ask them to comment. If you want people to share this with others, ask them to share it. If you want them to like this post, ask for it. Respond promptly to comments so that you actually foster a sense of community and interaction, because social media, it's not a one-way street. It's meant to be social. And actually that conversation on your comments area, that's the social part of social media, not posting stuff. That's not social. I have to say that you probably didn't even think, but in terms of like reach and growing your audience and impressions, your comments on your posts and other people's posts are actually equally powerful content than the content that you post. Then you need to analyze and adapt. So learn to use analytics, native analytics on the app to track your performance, how your content performs. It's very important because you want to know how many people saw your post, how many people your content can reach, and how many impressions your content gets on the average. Because you want to think about this as the volume. If the volume is too low, nobody hears your message. So if no one sees your post, no one is able to learn to love your own way of brand. So you need volume. And also, following the engagement is important because if people are not responding or reacting at all, your content either wasn't shown to them or it didn't stop them scrolling past. So adjust your strategy based on what worked better for your audience and what didn't. Okay, let's conclude this episode because I feel like I need a cup of coffee. So crafting that powerful and magnetic and compelling employer brand content, it's a dynamic process, step-by-step process that requires creativity, authenticity, and consistency. And by generating ideas that resonate with your audience, which is your goal, creating authentic content and effectively sharing it on social media, that will help your organization to build that strong employer brand that you want. That strong employer brand will then attract and retain your top talent. And this, my friend, ultimately contributes to your organization's success. And you want that. You want to be recognized as the person who delivered actual value for the business and didn't just spend company time creating random posts that no one cared to engage with. Right. Now, remember that your employer brand is not just what you say about your company. It's what your employees, current, future, and past employees say about your company, and what your candidates say about it too. So let them voice it through your content. Alrighty, that's all right for this week, my friends. I want to thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your HR and employer branding colleagues. And I want you to stay tuned for more insightful episodes on Mastering the Employer Branding Edge. My name is Susanna Rantanen, and I'm your guide to building the modern magnetic employer brand. Until next week. Moi moi!